Hello, welcome to chapter 3. This one is going to be the fun part. Is the part I just scroll down my palette to the color. So it's going to be we're going to apply the color to the existing image that we just did from chapter 1, chapter 2. I merge all the layers together and make a copy. Okay, and I use overlay, 100% opacity. I use a brush, soft brush, round. Try out like 100 or 70% or something, and I pick the color from here. It's kind of like a burgundy color, dark. So I'm gonna make him look kind of like a darker tone, skin tone. And now I'm applying some greenish brown to the skin color, like right around the middle section, to kind of have him color variation. And I'm deleting the lips part and a little bit of the eyes, using like a low opacity, delete, not 100% total. And I'm using some red to add some red to the skin, because skin color is not just one plain color. It has like some reddish, bluish, or greenish, or something like that. It depends on the skin tone. The darker your skin, it could be more red and more green onto that, less blue. If you have a lighter skin, like Caucasian skin, then you have some blue. And I'm adding some purple to the lips. Kinda should be a darker purple, but there you go. So it should work out. Sometimes the lips can be in a variation of color, like red to kind of magenta to dark. It depends on your skin color tone, and it's a lot of variation, like the lighting from outside also affecting your color arrangement of the facial structure. Now I'm adding some dark brown to the his hair. If you paint like a dark skin color person, then you don't just apply like dark brown, just apply magenta and kind of greenish brown, sort of yellowish, and red, mix them together as you can see in the picture. And then you can see a brush of like scribbly brush stroke right now, but we're gonna clean it up later and make it nice. Now I'm still working on the overlay, applying some more color, adding some arrangement, like some flesh tone, have it some hot and cool. As you can see, when the greenish brown apply next to the magenta red, it's make the greenish brown cooler. So that will be the cool and the warm of the color overall arrangement. As you can see now, like the nose will have like a sort of most reddish of all, or is warmer than the rest of the part. The cheeks could be warm, and the chin usually can be pretty cool, but sometimes can be warm. So now you can see this big difference that I merged the underlay layer, and now we're gonna go to layer, new adjustment layer, and go to color balance, and it's gonna create another layer that you can adjust. And mid-tone, you have to select. If you're going for the warm, you're going for the red a little bit, and then the green, tone it down to magenta, and the yellow. So if your mid-tone is warm, then the highlight and shadow got to be contrast. You can have a blue highlight if you pick your light to be cool, which is your highlight is going to be in the cool source, so it's blue, green, and cyan. And then the shadow is going to be warm, red a little bit. Adjust however you like it. Test it around, don't just do it as I do it. Just kind of see what kind of effect you create. So now you can see, okay, it's a little more saturate, a little more impact on the face. And then I make a copy of the color layer and merge this special layer that balance the color for me, and I merge it down, and then now I'm going to work from here. So I'm going to use mostly high opacity brush, like 80% right now. Just cleaning up using round brush, kind of like the part that you want it to be soft blend together, then you kind of make them all together clean. And the higher opacity you are, the cleaner your color is going to be, and the the fresher, and it's not going to get all muddy, because if you have a lot of low opacity, it's going to make your facial portrait kind of muddy, and it's not going to be so cool to look at. You want to maintain the freshness of the color, so it make your image or your concept looks cool. And now using 100%, doing the hairline. As you can see, there's a value range on the hair also, like on the side it's darker and on the top it's kind of lighter. And now I'm creating the round up the head a little bit and the edge right there. And then I'm gonna taper his head, make it a little more straight on the side. Painting his ears. Now I'm going around and applying the value that the light should hit the ear, the top of the earlobes. They got the light hit over there, and underneath the top of the earlobe be darker, if you notice. And on that little piece that coming off the top of the ear is also lighter, because the light will hit from the front, and then the bottom of the ear will be kind of lighter than the underneath the top, because it's got hit by the light. It usually curve, so if you think about the plane, then it is kind of curved up, so it's got hit by the light also. So now I'm gonna go in and clean up the face, zoom in and kind of clean it up using 80% to 100% value. It shouldn't be that hard to clean up. You just have to try to maintain the value of the face as of right now, because it looks okay. And using 80% clean, make sure that you have to be sort of confident. Make sure the part that you want the value to maintain become the part of the value that you maintain, so don't change it so much. But whatever it is that there's like some scribble line or some part that is not correct, then you just kind of go in and clean up. So I'm using soft brush, clean it up, make the soft edge in between stuff. 80%. You don't see change much, because it's the color of the things that it's the color range of that I picked from there. So but you can see like the edge kind of cleaning up a little bit, and then you use a hard edge brush to kind of create maybe some squiggly line here and there, just to add some some kind of painterly effect. And now I'm trying to bring in the nose, cleaning it up, and kind of making the size of the nostril part. And I'm trying to define a change of plane right between the cheeks and the nose, and underneath the nostril. Right there should be some from the bottom of the nostril, receive the light kind of. So now you can see like the shape of the nostril, and underneath the nose a little more, change of plane. I'm trying to soft edge together and make it overall look nice and smooth. But you don't want to like make it overall soft brush. You need the hard edge to make your illustration or your concept looks cool. Edge is very important. It make your painting looks like a painting, because you have some, it's not like the airbrush kind of effect. That's not what we're going for. We want something looks cool and good. Soft and hard edge. It's kind of like John Singer Sargent sort of school of painting stuff. That's what I'm sort of going for. Now rounding up the nose, flatten it a little more. I'm using 30% to tone down the highlight, because I'm going to apply more highlight later, or refining it a little more. Now I'm just trying to sort of tidying everything in together. Now I'm using a soft brush, soften up that part that have the hard edge in between the forehead and the middle of the nose bridge. There you go. Kind of cleaning it up, because that doesn't need the hard edge. It need to be kind of blend in together. I'm using soft brush on 80%. So now it's kind of like sort of rounding down, which is more of a soft edge now. And then I'm gonna go in, use a hard brush, defining side of the node bridge a little more, underneath the eye socket a little more, and we getting there. So it looks a lot better than it was. Okay, before and after. There you go. Then what I'm trying to make a copy of the last layer, and I'll go to layer, adjustment, and level, and then I'm trying to brighten it up a little bit and see if it helps. Just kind of like go wherever it is, and just not changing much, but just bring out a little bit of a highlight. And I'll just pick the highlight blue, which is if you have a warm shadow, then you're gonna have a cool light. So I merge those level down, and then I pick the blue color, and now I'm just gonna add the highlight in there, because I think the face as of now is clean enough. So as you can see, when you add the sort of almost white, but it's kind of bluish, it's bring out the certain life onto your painting, rather than you put just the white, because the contrast of the temperature itself bring out the color even more. And that's just usually how it is, you know, like the warm and the cool kind of make your picture looks better. And I merge it down, and then I often compare to, you know, so that's one done. So now I'm just gonna show you the principle of the face construction in the front. Usually you just in the beginning you just focus pretty much on the basic frame or the basic construction of the face, which is I'm gonna pick the sort of almost black color, like the eye socket, which is kind of dark. So that's like pretty much where you started, and the eye socket and the eyebrows can be together like that, and underneath of the nose, that's like the basic lighting on the facial structure, and the upper lips, and the underneath the lower lips, and then on the side of the face, or the chin, from face to the side of face to your chin, and under the cheekbones to your chin, right there. So it's like a basic structure. You can use this basic structure applying to any facial structure, and it will maintain. You know, that's a basic human facial structure for lighting and stuff. So for the front view, there you go. And some ears, neck, a little bit, but that's the basic lighting of facial structure right there. So like when you start off like here, and then you kind of like rounding up certain thing here and there, you might add something on the side, I know. So but that's pretty much basically what it is, and you know, it's fit with the frame. So anyways, so here's what we have. The first kind of warrior type kind of guy, painting all the way to the end, from, you know, monochromatic, and then, you know, after you figure out your value, then you apply your color, and trying to, you know, figure out cool and warm temperature and things like that. And yep, it's, well, so now you just have to go and practice things like that. So here's the final piece of the face construct number concept number 1, with the warrior type. On the next chapter, I'm going to show you how to draw like paint a facial structure of the kind of young hero, typical hero kind of thing, you know. But this guy is like a tough guy, kind of young hero, tough warrior kind of guy. So I'll see you in chapter 4. Alright, concept number 2. Bye bye.